The views and opinions expressed in this program are strictly those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of associated brands or figures. Poof!
I didn't even get on the deck this time before you did it. Oh, well, I suppose since you've already cleared the air for me, my shadow-stepping friend, we should beam these babies on up to the deck and get started. After all, if there's one thing that the captain enjoys, it's unity. You know, I talk about things being nice and equitable a lot, but you can't get equity without unifying. And the more and more I think on the word, I can't help but feel like we've all had moments where we knew it was the answer, but it just didn't come to fruition. I mean, coming together as one to overcome whatever obstacle, whatever tyrannies that we're facing. That's how you defeat anything. That's how you overcome anything. That's how we progress as a people. By finding a way to come together. But I'll be damned, we can never seem to get past our base greed, can we? Well, crewman, I am one for trying to make the impossible possible. And if we can overcome that base human greed so that we can all come together to fight any enemy, then so be it. A worthy cause for true. But I still wonder, how? Like, really, how? The best way that I can think to deal with any kind of situation, especially one that's close to home, is to look inward on my own experiences. What say you two?
Well, you know, if we gotta talk about it, we gotta talk about it.
I don't know. That's why I asked. Hey, look, I'm good at bringing together small groups, and of course, there's the crew. Much love to y'all, by the way. We grew again.
Another one?
Another two, actually.
Woo!
Hey.
Yes, indeedy. It's quite the good feeling. I'm so glad that you've all joined us. I'm so glad that you've somehow convinced two more wayward travelers in the Sea of Stars to join us in that favorite little spot in the sand and get beamed up with us. Proud of all your endeavors, crewman, I really am. Shoutouts to Ash. Went out there, had an interview the other day, knocked it out of the park, making them ducats for him and his little one.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out to the greatest, the uncelebrated, the single parent.
Bless all of you.
Abso-fucking-lutely, mate. Hats off to you, fair winds, and may your kid not drive you to go bald prematurely. Much love to you, mate, really, and again, congratulations. Stay the course. You do great work in every capacity, and I truly mean that.
Salute.
21 guns, if I could manage it. Oh, wait, I can. I could just probably hit this button over here and do that, but we're trying to keep things peaceful. And though I'm sitting here praising one, you have to think, one. Well, when people unify, they are coming together, many or few, to form one, whether it be a like mind, whether it be a combined goal. A couple unifies to have children. An entrepreneur engages in a deal to bring others under his fold so that he can proceed to form his vision of a business. A group of friends sit down on a couch and make a promise, and then carry that promise to full fruition, regardless of the challenges. It sounds really beautiful, Just waking up one morning and deciding, you know what? I can't do it alone. I need somebody to help me weather this storm. And then to just open the gates and let it all happen. Sounds beautiful. Sounds easy. But why does no one do it then?
Quite the query.
I mean, could it be that at the core, we know humans are a bit greedy. We know that human greed is actually one of the things that prevents us from doing a lot as a society. What about me? What do I get? Oftentimes, the preservation of the solitary one prevents the many from becoming a unified one. Either of you ever had a moment like that? Where greed, or pride, or maybe even ambition, but ambition bore of negativity, severed maybe a plan, stepped on the toes of a dream?
Let's see. Let's reach through the grab bag of memories. Let's see. Well, you know, the interesting thing, I feel like greed goes hand in hand with addiction. It starts off that way, like, oh, I just want to do what I want to do. But then it grows into something uncontrollable. It turns into an addiction. And it's so impactful that even before I even had a choice to form, a situation of my own where I wanted to unify and affect people. When I was about, I couldn't have been but about 5 when this happened. So this was even before I came back to Macon, because I was back and forth like a ping pong ball, thanks to my mom.
Florida Georgia line.
Yes, indeed.
Childhood ping pong, baby.
There you go. And so my stepfather, who was part of a popular local band, who is still regarded by many who were around at that time as one of the baddest to do it around here. He was a bass player in this band, and they were so good, in fact, that they had a deal on the table from Motown. And this is my youngest brother and sister, their father, and this Motown deal would have set up him, every generation that came after him, including my sister and us, for quite some time.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fucking amazing.
Sounds great. As you may have guessed by me, nearly 30 years later, it didn't go as well as planned.
I was about to say, now, my friend, you and I are up and coming entrepreneurs and certified businessmen, celebrating a year. And Motown connections would have been fan-fucking-tastic, mate. You've been holding out on me? Do you not realize what this entire episode is about?
Well, as much as I would love to be able to say, hey, we got to connect up there in Motown.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Give me the deals. Give me the details. Come on.
Unfortunately, it was severed by that good old monster of addiction that evolved from little old greed.
Wait.
Well,
Wait. Hold on. Black excellence halted yet again by selfish pursuit. Oh, damn it. All right, break it down.
Here we go. So, our beloved musicians, they had an addiction. And it was an addiction that pretty much just scoured our community once upon a time in the 80s and early 90s, and that epidemic is crack. It was crack. Because one day somebody had to say, well, everything else in my life and everyone else in my life be damned, I want to try crack.
God damn it.
Yeah, so you can't have an addiction until you try something. And then and make such a decision, and said addiction came back to bite him because they were invited to that meeting, that golden meeting where they were getting ready to sign the papers and everything else. But of course, Motown being as diligent as they are, they hear tell that these fellas, these talented fellas, may have an addiction. So, as a test, the exec, he left a little bag of them good old rocks
Bait,
in the room on the table, the good old bait, and walked out as if he forgot it there. And sure enough, when he came back, it was gone. Didn't say anything about it to him at the time. He just wanted to see if it would disappear. And sure enough, Houdini showed up just in time. And they returned home and they got that call. Oh yeah, we've decided to go another direction. Sorry. Click. And that was that. And so we got to live in that old fucked up mouse infested apartment over on Virginia Avenue, and all the other stuff that came along with all the fixings. It was a good old Thanksgiving dinner worth of fuckery.
And it all got started because of the one thing that they've been telling us since the 80s. Crack kills. Dreams in this case, but still. Can you imagine your selfishness costing the entire group their future?
Beyond that, it cost the city a future, because had they laid that groundwork...
Yeah, we wouldn't have to do nearly as much work as we're doing now.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I appreciate it. Dare I say it? I appreciate those kinds of flub-ups and those kinds of shortcomings. You know why? Gave me purpose.
Absolutely.
Gave me something to do. And you know what makes it even better? Let me try and put a silver lining on this. At least we can learn from it.
It's better to learn from someone else's mistakes.
I bet you've never fucked up a deal like that.
Hell no.
I bet you've never gone, damn, that's some conveniently placed fucking crack. Now, I've never thought of doing crack before this point, but now if I were to get some free crack...
Not free crack.
Now, surely, free crack is worth the try. Who knew that one reckless moment of, now crack I wouldn't try for money, but crack for free? Now that's worth the whole group's future. Man, fuck a city, I got high as a kite. Y'all guys have any idea how potent crack from celebrities is? I'm willing to bet that guy's still high now, almost 30 years later.
Well, he's tried to do some things to get his life together by starting an entirely new life and neglecting the old one, and that has had its consequences. So once again, no unity in that. But yeah.
Well, when selfishness breeds destruction for a group, do you expect that same selfish person to be able to maintain?
Oh, there was one thing that they were unified in fucking up their opportunity, because they were all addicts.
Everyone in the group, not just the one.
Yeah. Crack. From what I hear, crack is better with friends.
Man, oh man.
Would have been better with some friends to tell you not to do crack. Tell you that right now.
I mean, now we all know of the term brother's keeper.
Oh boy.
And I'm not a fan of it. I believe it's one of the plagues of our community. Being made to be responsible for somebody else's reckless decisions, no matter how many reckless decisions they make, is never fun.
At all.
But I feel like in this one instance, brother's keeper would have probably saved somebody. Because, and for all we know, maybe they had that one wet blanket in the group that said, why the fuck are y'all doing crack? We could smoke some weed. We could do whatever. Y'all want to do some coke, man? You can do a couple lines of coke after the meeting. Because I promise you, a room full of top-tier musicians and businessmen, yeah, they probably got all kinds of drugs on them. And guess what? They're probably willing to let go of $20 worth of it just to see if you're worth those thousands to strike up a deal. Just to see if you're worth risking stage time. Just to see if you're worth donating studio time to, if you're worth coordinating with. And if you are coming to them as a representative of your city, as a representative of not just the city, but the city's artistry, the city's music, the city's people and populace, parents and families in the city struggling to make it, struggling to be made into more than what they are. You represent all of that, and you blow it for a few moments of gratification. A lifetime of aiding your people, of setting your family, like setting your family straight for generations. And you flub that up because you couldn't have the forethought to go, well, it's not mine, but I know it is. The responsibility to be a beacon for my people to rally to and finally unify. That's what I'm supposed to be. And then to allow self-indulgence to ruin that. Well, damn. I'm starting to see why you are the way you are, my friend. One small misstep can ruin a warrior's journey.
Snatched rugs left and right.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how you learn how to balance yourself.
Well, you can't hold anyone else up if you can't hold yourself up. Not every path is going to be stable, right?
That's right.
So you need to be sure-footed. You need to know what might come ahead. Even if you're over-prepared, you should at least be ready for it, right? Because you never know. You might be ready for the worst, and then the easiest day that you've ever had occurs. And you know what you do with that? Oh, you celebrate it as a win, but you stay ready.
You never have to get ready if you stay ready.
When your entire city is riding on the line, when people's hopes are riding on your decisions, it shouldn't be hard. And yet it always seems to be. Quartermaster, you do carry quite the heavy burden for me on a lot of endeavors. I know you've dealt with it. Lay it on the crewman. These 88 ears listening in.
Well, I guess since we done already hopped in the Wayback Machine, or I guess we'd be going forward since...
Wherever you wish and will it to go.
Since Christmas 5, I guess we're going forward.
Oh, hell yeah, I love time travel.
Whee!
Hell of a way to spend an episode, really.
There you go.
So, I guess let's jump back for me about 6 years-ish, somewhere in that area.
Sounds about right.
I was really just getting my footing here in Macon, land legs, if you will. After being adrift in the Wonderland, not because it's so wonderful, but because you wonder why people still live here. And this, not a siren because they're more charismatic, this wannabe trickster goddess of a person.
Oh, the Squid Girl.
Ah, yeah, that one. Squiddy.
Squid Girl. What about Squid Girl?
Not like Squirt. She's adorable. We love Squirt.
No, Squirt's totally different. We're talking about Squid. The Proto-Karen. The Kraken, if you will.
Kraken.
Oh, buddy, if I knew then what I knew now, we'd probably have a lot more connects of people ready to come do a video shoot and not me scrambling together for 3 people.
So, what did this beast do that ruined that for you?
Just this level of underhanded, conniving, I think my aversion to forethought and planning comes from all of the plans that I work together only for her to actually fly by just her ass. Oh yeah, we're gonna pool our money together by being roommates, and then we're gonna have all these connections to all these people. We're gonna have all these. We already got this one friend that wants to act. I can get together with her. I got this other friend that likes to sew. That'll be helpful with this cosplay stuff. Oh, and this artist guy. That'll give us all work on video shoots.
Are you talking about our business plan? This really sounds familiar. Have you two tried this multiple times or something only to have it fail repeatedly because...
Technically because of the same person, yes.
You're both staring at me as if I should already know this.
Yeah.
Considering the backstory, we're just laying it for the people here.
That's what I was about to say. I don't want to give any undue exposition. Plus, I'm known to go off on tangents when I do.
Spoiler alert, it all fell apart because one person couldn't do what the fuck they were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. And when asked about why they flubbed the responsibilities or why they reneged, what happened?
What do you mean ask? Wasn't no asking to be done. It was about to be some foots and some asses. Since there's plenty of room for both feet to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not trying to stop you from wearing shit socks if you want. But...
I ain't got time. Small potatoes. It's above me now.
Oftentimes, some mud holes aren't worthy of even being stomped, my friend.
Again, small potatoes at this point. I'm talking about hindsight. I'm talking about getting mad of thinking about it all over again.
So would you say what ceased... So, I'm guessing what you're trying to say. Tell me if I'm wrong. You were striving towards some mild fame, stardom, coordinating your friends to where everyone got to do what they were passionate about. And that went south because the person organizing it decided something was better / easier or what?
I was trying to put together the table from which we could all eat. Didn't realize I had a fucked up leg.
A wobbly leg.
And I'm guessing she had a book that she could put underneath said wobbly leg so that the table would be stable.
That was the leg. I didn't realize I needed to chop it off and start over with a new one.
Well, I'm saying maybe that wobbly leg could have been held up by a sturdy book, but maybe it just didn't bother letting you know that it was busted. Maybe that wobbly leg thought it could hold the weight of that table up all on its own, and then when you said, you know what, I believe in you, wobbly leg, and then you put the turkey on that corner of the table because that wobbly leg told you it could handle it. And the next thing you know, Thanksgiving dinner's all over the floor. Yeah, you got your side dishes still.
If she'd have just held out until I put the ham up there, that would have balanced everything out.
Well, like I said, you got your side dishes still, and like you said, you're walking up to bring the ham to the table, and then that wobbly leg just gave up, dumped everything on the floor, and... Well, yeah, it's time to get a new table, but it's a little late now. We're in the middle of dinner. What a bad time to just give out on everyone that you're trying to hold up. And the wobbly leg didn't squeak once, huh?
Nope. Gave me no indication. There was that one time I kind of leaned on it, and it made it evident that, ooh, maybe it can't handle that much weight. And then when I looked at it, it looked level. It looked even enough. Just, oh, okay, I just got to redistribute the weight just a bit. It'll be fine. But yeah, there we were on Thanksgiving. Turkey on the far end, coming back for the ham because I knew that would hold everything else up because redistributed, balanced. Nope. Just like that chair at that birthday / New Year's party. Everything in that goddamn room gave out on me.
For the people that are a bit thick-skulled and can only take things literally and have no idea what nuance is. A person said they were willing to work with everyone else being their close personal friends, and instead of keeping their word on anything, they fucked their way out of it.
Folded under pressure and ran off with the first person to pick him back up.
Yep.
Just for those that don't understand, the wobbly leg at the table was the person that decided, no!
Oh, this will just be easier if I run off and don't tell anybody.
Absolutely. I'll just put this baseball bat in my place. Friendships ruined. Endeavors spat on. Hope dashed. All because folks decide to look out for the one instead of coming together to make a stronger one. I mean, yeah, Voltron's dope, but it's only dope because all them little lions come together to make that badass robot.
This is true.
It's not Voltron Defender of the Universe because it's the 5 lions running around doing their own goddamn thing. In fact, most of the time, when those 5 lions are running around doing their own goddamn thing, they tend to get their asses kicked for the first part of the episode. It's almost like you'd think they'd learn after a while that if you're scrambling around trying to take on the big bad individually, when the obvious answer is to come together and make fucking Voltron, it kind of makes it a hard show to watch.
Why wouldn't they just form Voltron? Why would...
Well, because then you got to share the credit. I think we've all had a time where one person in the group said, I can save it. I know what to do. But I'm not going to tell anyone else. All the criticism in the world. All the critiques in the world. This guy ain't doing that right. Man, this dude over here, he ain't doing shit. Yo, I tell you what, I got a guy that could do it. He don't know what he's talking about. We've all had a meeting or a moment. Doesn't matter if it was a school project, personal endeavors, business meeting. Hell, it could be a party. There's always going to be that one guy that knows a mutual who's got to let you know. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have much knowledge to share. They don't have a way to amend their critique. Oh, but they've got critiques.
Oh, yeah.
They've got every bit of anything to say about what you hold dear, about your plans. Hell, they'll happily tell you if it sucks.
Criticize, criticize, criticize.
But when asked, okay, well, what would you fix? Oh, man. I mean, you do you, but just not how I do it. Okay, well, how would you? I'm just saying, you know. So you laugh because you know damn well you've had that conversation. Just, well, then what would you do to fix it? I don't know, man. I'm just saying, you know, clearly what you doing ain't working. Okay.
Okay, what would you do?
Well, then what would you do? I'm trying to bring a city together, and clearly you say that what I'm doing isn't working. So what should I do? I don't know, man. Well, I want to uplift them and educate them. Bring them into the light and show them that things can be different, that we can work together to achieve a beautiful goal. And I want to do that based on the history of our city, the arts that have come from it, the music that's come from it. What do you think about that? Yeah, I'd like to just keep them dumb as hell so I can keep making money. That's what I'd do. I'd keep the populace as dumb as possible so I can keep taking advantage of them and swindling money out of them. That's what I would do. And you know, I gotta say, and you know who you are, by the way. I just don't agree with you. And I don't think I have any interest in working with anyone that feels that way. To look at a populace and go, the best thing for me to do is to keep them stupid so I can profit. That is greed incarnate. You can't bring people together if all you think of is how to stay on top of them. We mentioned in a prior episode what a ruler actually is not a man that lords over others. It is a man, woman, person who sets the standard to be measured to.
Mm-hmm.
When you have someone that thinks of being on top as a form of subjugation, oftentimes trying to reason with that person, trying to get that person to see the big picture, not worth your time. And even if that person's a close friend of yours or someone that you have a lot of faith in, sometimes you just got to forge your own way and show them that selfishness, that's not the way to go. Yet the people that have that hopeful view for their fellow man, they oftentimes give up. And I wonder why. Why is it that those who are more negative, those who are so quick to dismiss their own people, why is it that they always win? Why is it that the hopeful seems to surrender? Now, granted, I'm one of the hopeful, and I have no intention of ever surrendering an inch again. But not everyone comes to that conclusion. Have you guys ever wondered what is it that makes someone go, fuck it, all for me?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times do you think a person's heart needs to be broken before they go, fuck taking care of the flock, I need to eat, and starts preying on the sheep themselves? When does one go from a shepherd to a wolf? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out, my dear crewmen, my two friends on deck.
Well, my favorite example that I use quite often because it's oh so potent and useful is a healthy cell versus a cancer cell. Both of them are interested in, staying alive and doing what they need to in order for their own personal survival. However, the difference is the healthy cell understands that it only keeps itself alive so that it can keep the body alive. And vice versa. The body says, hey, that cell is doing something to keep me alive, so I need to keep that cell alive. Well, unfortunately, you have some people who live their lives like a cancer, where they just consume and they don't care if they kill the body while they're doing it. And when the body dies, so does the cancer cell. And when a person forgets their connection to everything and everyone around them, maybe it comes with feeling insignificant. Maybe all those failures and those blows had them feeling like they didn't matter, such that they don't understand the impact they're going to have on people when they get to that point where they're just like, fuck everybody. I'm going to just do me. But you're always connected. Whether you acknowledge that connection or not, everything that you do affects people around you in some way, shape, or form. We laugh about the whole, the butterfly flaps its wing in one hemisphere and then this causes a storm on the other side. But whether you realize it or not, something that you do, somebody is going to see that and they're either going to imitate it or they're going to be impacted by it. And next thing you know, it may not happen as a direct result. It may happen indirectly, but something you did today had some guy pissed and then he wasn't paying attention on the road, runs into some other car. He survives, but the other person dies. That dude was on the way to his kid to see him on his birthday. You don't know who you are affecting by you deciding and tricking yourself into thinking that you're not connected. Because here's the kicker, y'all. Here's the punchline or whatever. There's no such thing as there not being unity. You're a part of a whole, whether you realize it or not. And that illusion, that delusion that you are separate in any particular way. Yes, who you are as an individual is important, but the idea that you are separate from this thing we call humanity is that cancer that causes this body to continue to die.
I mean, don't we breathe the same air?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
It's not like we're sitting in a room on individual oxygen supplies. We breathe the same damn air.
We breathe it.
Walk on the same soil.
Mm-hmm.
We do so many things together already. It's so sad to see when people go, yeah, well, still, what about me? Bro, what about you? Think of how many other people have that exact same thought. Every day, every second of the day, what about me? How many people think, what about me, before they think, okay, but what about them? How much different would your life be if instead of worrying about just yourself, you just started helping others? What if, even though you don't have much, you see someone else with less, and you remember when you had even less? Perspective changes, in my experience, the moment you go, how can my actions positively affect this person that I don't know shit about, except he's where I was at some point in time? Maybe it's why I'm totally okay with somebody having a rough start. Now, I want everyone to live a good life. I want everyone to grow up healthy and happy. But for those who don't have that luxury, I feel there is almost like a 50-50 chance. You know, statistics are all made up on the fly anyway, right? But I feel like it's a coin flip. I really do. I feel like it's a coin flip between somebody who grew up rough that goes, yeah, I got a foot-long sub, and that dude looks hungry. Hey, man, here you go. And a person that goes, I remember being hungry like that, and takes the biggest bite of their fucking sandwich they ever could. It's a weird coin flip. But I feel like people that have had it hard, people that grew up hard, they're a little more likely to split that sandwich in half. I'm not saying that luxury spoils, but luxury definitely breeds greed. I think it definitely breeds a more selfish nature. Now, granted, for those people that fail the coin flip, that grew up hard, that's a whole nother level of I ain't had shit, and I'm never gonna not have shit ever again. Mm-hmm. Like, for anyone that doesn't understand what it's like to not have shit.
I'm talking about nothing.
Nothing. When you are talking to somebody that has never had anything, yeah, he's probably never going to think about splitting a fucking sandwich in his life. It don't matter if he's able to drop $1 million and buy a Subway chain. It may never occur to him. Why? Why would it never occur to him to feed anyone, even if he were suddenly to have millions? Anybody ever did enough for me? Say it louder and don't just be a sarcastic ass. Anybody ever did enough for me? Now you say it all condescending.
That's how they think.
But that's how they think. Ain't nobody ever did nothing for me.
I'm not saying that they didn't.
I'm just saying, you're hungry. I was hungry.
The big difference is going, well, fuck them, nobody ever helped me, or be the change you want to see.
Mm-hmm. That one decision of, all right, well, I know half a sandwich ain't gonna hurt me. Losing half a sandwich ain't gonna hurt me as much as gaining half a sandwich is gonna help them.
Mm-hmm. Not even saying give away your whole sandwich, because
I said half. That's what I said.
Half.
You got a whole foot long
Not
sandwich.
even saying the whole sandwich, y'all. Because of course, yeah, you gotta eat. Because if you die, you can't give people sandwiches. Yeah. But at the same time, do you really need that whole sandwich?
Gotta eat too. Everyone's gotta eat. At the end of the day, when you are busy going, what about me? Realize we all breathe the same air. We all walk the same earth. And we all gotta eat. Mm-hmm. We all gotta eat. we have the fortune that we're able to see things like that. We're three very different people, yet we work well together. Our associates work well together. I don't think there's any two folk that are exactly the same in any regard in our inner circles or in our outer circles or in anyone that we associate with. We have a wonderful cavalcade of people. Mm-hmm. They all have their own story. They all have their own background. But you know what? At the end of the day, if they're hungry, if they're worried, they know they can just reach out. I think the key to unity is letting everyone know, even the selfish one, even the one that says, what about me? Even the one that says, ain't nobody ever do nothing for me. Fine. I got a one up for you. How about you be the one to be the first to do something? Man, ain't nobody ever do nothing for me. But I could be the one to start. I could be the one to start. If I want my dream to come true, well, I've got the vision, but I don't have the technical know-how. Well, I've got a friend that does. He's been grinding at it for years and years and years. Well, let me talk to him about it. Well, he knows somebody that's good with this. And I think I know somebody who's always wanted to get into that. Start by saying what you can do, putting it out there on the table. Have someone else step up to the table and go, well, we have the same dream. Your skills will help us get there this way. My vision will help us get there this way. That person's way with money will help us balance it out. It should never be a rat race. It should never be, yeah, you know how to do this, but I know how to do that. So you need me. See how it goes from coming together to every man for himself? Mm-hmm. It's amazing how the idea of becoming one oftentimes gets fucked up and it splinters out into everyone for themselves.
Like trying to put together a protest. There was no reason.
Sound like you have a bit of a personal gripe with that one.
There was no reason that coming together to protest the heartbeat bill should have devolved into the nothing that it has.
Oh, man. Story time?
Was it because a man started it? What?
Oh, yeah, it's story time. So,
here it comes.
As y'all know, Captain is a very ambitious man. Okay? Got a lot of love for everyone. Except for folks that harm children, animals. But you know what? One thing your captain hates more than anything is when somebody else's rights, especially when it's a right of theirs that doesn't affect anyone else, causes division. Now, I'm not of the woman folk, nor am I of the folk that can give birth. So I can't really comment much on this, but I can say this. It's not my call, because I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't carry a child. So I probably shouldn't be the one saying what someone who can do with their body if they find that they are suddenly pregnant. Now, me being someone that goes, well, no wrinkly ass prune of a man has a right telling a woman that, I decide, okay, I'm going to get a group together. And I'm not even trying to be the head of this group. I'm not even trying to be the main one getting behind microphones and shit. No, because nobody wants to hear what a fucking man has to say about the heartbeat bill. No. My forte is coming up with the, how should I say, the vision. My forte is coming up with the vision, putting those people in their roles to fulfill that vision, and then letting them do it. Now, I had angry, opinionated, vivacious young ladies ready to get behind a mic and speak on how they were sick of being told what to do with their bodies. Or so I thought.
I don't want to say anything. I'm just mad. I don't even want to tell people I'm mad. I just want to be mad. I don't want to say anything.
Then why are you here?
I want to be a part of it. We can make T-shirts and pins, and we can put my branding on it, and we can make some money off of it.
I'm not trying to. This isn't a profit thing. This. No, I'm not trying to. Again, I'm just trying to organize this. But if I've come to you and said, "Hey, this is a horrible injustice against..."
Well, I'm just going to tell you that as a man, you can't understand how we're feeling right now, and I'm just going to stop you, and we're going to take a second, and we're going to talk about this, because I'm sure nobody, even though you're black and a man, has ever told you to shut up while other people were talking.
You mean like you just did?
Yeah, but I'm a woman.
Yes, and in this instance, my crewman, this was a white woman saying this to me, so I'm just going to let that one sink into you. I'm just going to let that sink in for a moment. A white woman looked your captain in the eyes and said, "I'm sure you've never been told to shut up before." Yes, your captain, a black man that grew up in the South in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, I've never been told, shut up.
And I was so bewildered, I didn't even know how to defend him. I was so confused. I thought it was Clown World all over again.
And what made that entire endeavor even weirder, and it was heartbreaking, because the first meeting we had, 4 people show up. Fine. And then between that first show up, we had one little protest where people were standing outside in front of the courthouse holding up signs, and it was great. It was fun. Got some people asking questions. And a lot of times whenever any of the men were asked questions, it was like, no.
We were trying to make collaborative efforts with other groups because what do we need to be the only one talking about this for? Yes, let's combine some efforts here.
And that's when fun things started to happen, like, well, I don't feel comfortable getting up behind a microphone and telling my story. Well, you're our event coordinator, so I wasn't going to ask you to do that anyway. And even still, you seem very nervous about it, and I don't want you to feel nervous. So how can I help build trust with you so that we can work together?
Oh, this shit again.
Now, after I asked her, how can I build trust so that we can work together, she immediately told me she doesn't believe in trusting anyone. She works with plenty of people she doesn't trust. In fact, she doesn't trust most of the people she works with. Okay, then I have a question. Then why did you come to these meetings? Why were you here? Long story short, one of our potential gatherings got reported, and they turned down my application to actually have a rally. And I found out why. Same individual who said I'd never been told to shut up before decided to make sure that I was shut up by informing the local government that it was a plot to do something dangerous that would harm other people, and let them know that she was fearful of others.
Interestingly enough, right after she invited someone else to these meetings, sight unseen to the rest of us, who only had criticisms of our event that they would be dangerous to have women just out there without security, as though we were making this a rally of some sort, when it was just a small gathering of women telling how they felt about getting our reproductive rights taken away.
Yeah, they actually demanded that we get armed security. Didn't have any answers for that. Just, we need security. For what?
Just in case. In case what?
In case what? We're not going to war. We're literally just gonna be standing there. Y'all gonna be wearing Handmaid's Tale costumes.
Like, sure, we made Handmaid's Tale jokes, but it's not like a new civil war was about to pop off with a nuclear fallout.
No, it was literally just, hey, I want the right to choose. All right, ladies, we're gonna help you. We're gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna let you have at it. And they had at it. They did nothing with it. Suddenly, from one regard, we need armed security. Oh, I want to monetize this and make money. Oh, if my brand isn't on it, I'm not interested. Oh, you guys don't like Trump? Well, the guy I'm sleeping with is a Trump supporter, and I don't want there to be any drama in my household, so. That was such a disappointing conversation.
All of it. The level of that's not how feminism works.
Yeah,
Hey, Chris.
Huh?
Let's pretend we live in an alternate world where I'm still disillusioned about how to bring the world together and make everybody more loving. Would you assume that I'm in the sunken place by telling you that I've solved the mystery by throwing the coochie on a white supremacist?
I'd be intrigued to hear about your plan of execution.
My own or them?
Whoever was planning on using coochie as a weapon against white supremacy, I would have to see the details of this plan. I would, before making any judgment against it.
I'm telling you right now, that was one of the
Actual-
slash tires. That actually did happen in that group. She came to one meeting, and after it was discovered that her method of dealing with white supremacy was identifying Trump supporters and sleeping with them, to go, ha, yeah, you don't hate black people now.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you still think that one's the way to go, wait till you get hit in the back of the head with a fucking brick.
Or you can check out some of our older episodes. I mean, we kind of go over why that shit don't work.
Did she at least have HIV? At least biological warfare? What the fuck?
It was literally this. Ha, you fucked me, therefore, you can't say that you're a white supremacist. You like black pussy.
So did slave masters.
Oh, all these documents from 1808. It's almost like folks need to stop being goddamn goofy.
They were her property. The Delectable Negro. The slave memoirs. You know, there's a lot of references in this book to them fucking us and still hating us. Fucking us and still calling us property.
Shit, some of y'all are fucking people you hate right now. Zing!
It's plenty of people out here, especially in our government, saying, well, I'll fuck the help, but goddamn it, I won't give them a decent wage. Hello?
And again, this entire thing was started from, well, I want to come together so that you guys can say I can do what I want with my body. Now, if that's what she wants to do with her body, fine.
Absolutely.
But don't you
guess.
dare say it's to combat white supremacy. Don't tell me that banging a Trump supporter and then telling everyone that you fucked a Trump supporter outs him so other white supremacists are going to stop hanging with him, because that's not how that works. In fact, all of his buddies shook his hand, fist bumped him, and said, hell yeah.
Also, did anyone watch Neo-Ned? Come on now.
You mean the movie that you can't even get Amazon digitally and that you actually have to buy DVD copies of because they're trying to bury that shit as much as possible?
Yep. Good old Gabrielle Union pretending she thinks she's possessed by Hitler and dating a neo-Nazi.
Listen.
What?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, the early 2000s were an interesting thing. Now, I know that we see car commercials all the time with forced biracial couples and shit like that because we're apparently black men and women aren't capable of having a family together and kids and stable income and buy nice cars like Mazdas. Wow, because Mazda is so top tier that it would require a young black woman to get married to some salt and pepper Judge Frollo looking white guy in order to afford a mid-sized fucking Japanese sedan that has more parts from a Ford than anything else.
Wait, didn't they lose their shit when it was a black man and white woman on the cereal commercial?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did.
And
but
it's been white man, black woman ever since.
It's been white man, black woman ever since. And I know that might sound conspiratorial, crewman. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's an entire episode in the works of commercials that act like certain things don't happen.
We saw it.
Yeah, we see them multiple times in any YouTube video thanks to the way ads pop up now. Which there's nothing bad about that. If your version of unifying is that, great. But don't tell me it's to stop any racial injustices, okay? There's having a type and then there's having a fetish. And colonization is in fact a fetish. So I'm just going to leave that there. But I'm not going to leave you. All 44 of you wonderful, wonderful individuals. I have hope, my friends. I truly do. I truly have hope that every human heart has a bit of light left in it. I don't give a shit how hard your upbringing was. Crewman, the one thing your captain is going to ask that you do until you join us again in your favorite spot in the sand. I want you to give half that sandwich away. I want you to reach out and shake someone's hand and say, yo, man, I've been there. Even if you can't offer them financial help, even if it's just a kind word, even if it's just acknowledging someone else as a fellow human being going through struggle, please do it. Please do it. Because everybody deserves to feel like their fellow man gives a fuck. But you want to know something that I'm always willing to give?
What's that?
Punishment.
Every time you think I'm back in, you want me to leave, do ya?
Can't finish an episode without the good old Frank Castling.
I don't want you to get up and leave at all. The entire point of the episode was unity. Now, I know you want to leave, but I've got 3 reasons why you shouldn't. For one, you love us. For 2,
He's getting ready. Here's the warm-up. And the pitch.
to be or not to have chi? That is the second question. 3, for try to annoy her in every way that I can. 4, you see. 4, you can see. 5, have nothing else to count on. As y'all know, I'm the number 1 ace, therefore 6 is not something that I sweat.
Remember before you walk out of that door, the immortal words of Queen Latifah. UNITY.
Seems she's cracked.
She finally cracked.
Crumbled under pressure?
Under pressure.
We did say cracking kills earlier today, didn't we? Or was that crack?
Cracking, it's all the same.
Is she releasing the Kraken at this point?
Yeah, the crack has been released.
Damn. And here I was thinking that she was pure golden cheddar. Turns out we've got crumbly blue cheese.
That was a good one, Captain.
You mean I'm not doing so bad of a job? Are you saying that my puns are pretty Gouda?
A little cheesy, but good nonetheless.
I'm pushing both of you out of an airlock.
Now don't say that. Because then that would be pretty sus. We'd have to call an emergency meeting.
I fucking hate that!
But Sada loves references to it. Anyway, crewmen, join me next time in your favorite place in the sand. This is your captain speaking. Boldly go. Take care of each other. Captain loves you. Crewmen, all 45. You. Captain loves you very much. Now, see Wind, CJ. Tell the nice people goodbye.
Come together like butt cheeks and shake some unity, baby. Peace.
It's gonna be a lot of hard twerk, but I'm sure you could stink up the room with how you guys are gonna clap together.
Do remember, one cannot pour from an empty cup. And if you find yourself in the position where your cup runneth over, don't be wasteful. Be good to each other and be good to yourself. Drink your water, take your meds. I'm out!
And with that, my 44 strong, wonderful crewmen, I do look forward to seeing you again next time. 11 episodes and going strong. I appreciate all the support. The channel's gonna get a few upgrades, and don't y'all worry. I've been hearing the calls. T-shirts, mugs, couple of flags. Don't you worry. Big things on the horizon. Because as y'all know, I will not stop until I make it to mine. As always, once again, you know I gotta say it twice. Captain loves you. TTFN, crewman.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.